Stitch Cutie, it's Brittany with Stitches of Love Quilting, and it's time to make all the really cute kits that we got in the mail for September. So this is the September Applique Club, this is the haunted house design, and then this is the little vampire with his froggy frog. So what this tutorial is going to be is making this haunted house using your embroidery files. So let's talk about what you need to get started. So I'm going to set that aside. You'll have your fabrics cut for you. Now this month, your zipper bag fabric and all your bindings are one really big piece of fabric. So do make sure to look at the cutting instructions that are on the file page where you downloaded your embroidery files. So you're going to want to go on and press those so that they're ready to use. Then in front of me, of course, I always have my Steady Betty, and I'm using my Steam Fast Travel Iron like I love to use. And then you're only going to need one spool of thread for this particular project. Can you believe that? Normally we use a bunch of threads, but this month, because it's Halloween, we're using just black. It's a Sulky 40 weight rayon thread, number 1005. And then of course you'll have all your pre-fused laser cut applique pieces. I've gone on and removed the backing from them and they're ready to go. So what you'll do is load the file for the back of your embroidery file. Get one piece of your fabric. This is your backing for your mug rug. Load your black thread and let's get started. So now in your hoop, what you'll see is one rectangle stitched. You're going to take your piece of fabric, put it right over that. Make sure it's covering all four sides of that stitched rectangle and give it a little tape. Then what we're going to do is leave our black thread on. And what the machine is going to stitch next is it's going to stitch that same rectangle again, which is going to be our trim line. And then it's also going to give us the applique outline of our little star. Okay, and now in your hoop, you have that one applique outline. So you're just going to take one of your stars. All the stars in your kit are exactly the same. And you're just going to put it in place. And what's really fun about this month is you only need that black thread because Mom stitched everything in black. And of course we digitized to match. So it's really fun for Halloween. So now we're going to put this back on and the machine is going to do the cutest little buttonhole stitch around that star for us. Okay, and take a look at that cute little star. Is it not just so cute? I love having the accents on the back. I think it just really finishes it off. So now you're just going to re-hoop and you're going to load the file for the front of your embroidery machine and we're going to get started on the front now. So while the machine is stitching that first step for the front, we're going to prepare the fabrics and the fusible batting for the front. So you're going to identify the fusible side of your batting. The side that's soft, it does not have the fusible, and the side with that web texture is the side that's fusible. So you're going to put fusible side up, and you're going to put your fabric right on top like so. So you're ironing the fusible side to the back of your front piece, and we're just going to get that ironed together. And now what we're going to do when the machine is done stitching that rectangle, we're going to put this in place over that rectangle, just like we did for the back, except this time it has that fusible batting. And what's nice is as we do all of our buttonhole stitching, you're going to get that quilted effect because you have that stable or the fusible batting already in place. So just make sure you're covering. You don't need to, worry about going over it by much. It just needs to cover it. That's it. And we're going to tape it in place. So we're going to use black this entire time. You don't have a single thread change on this particular file. So what's going to happen first is the machine is going to give us an outline for our first applique piece, which is the big moon. Okay, so take a look. We have that moon outlined, and don't you just love this fabric this month? I really enjoy it. It is a textured fabric from our friends at Riley Blake. If I'm correct, it is a Lori Whole Basic. I could be wrong on that. But it's a really fun fabric from Riley Blake. And then the moon is a really fun fabric from Moda, I believe. So much fun. We really love to work with both of those companies. So now we have our moon ironed in place. Now it's time to put this back on, still with that black thread. And the machine is going to give us 4 more applique outlines. We're actually going to build our haunted houses in the next step. Okay, so we have our next outlines, and yes, there are some areas that over and underlap, right? So you're going to want to make sure that you put them on in this specific order. So what we're going to do is put down our left house, aka the crooked house, because it's leaning. I don't think I'd want to live in it. And then we're going to put the roof of that house down. So your roofs are different. This left house that's leaning is just a little bit smaller than the right one. So what I'm gonna do is make sure I have it lined up down here, and then as I do with all pieces, I just work my way up. And then if you need to kind of adjust the piece while it's still hot, simply just take a little tool and make sure you have that perfectly in line. Now we're gonna do the right house. It's an easy rectangle to put in place, just like so. There we go. And then the roof on this house. And then when we put this back on, we only have one more step of applique outlines. Can you believe that? This project goes together so quickly, and it's really fast on your machine as well, because we're gonna stitch everything with that black thread. Isn't that fun? There we go. And then just make sure I have this little guy in the right spot. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that on the machine now, and still with that black thread, the machine is now gonna give us an outline of the door and the 2 star windows on our houses. So now you have your outline stitched. I know it's really hard probably on the camera to see those black outlines on top of the black blossom fabric, but you'll be able to see yours at home. So I'm just gonna take my little door and I'm gonna put it right in place. There we go. And give it a press. And then we have our 2 stars. Again, all the stars are the same, which makes your life very easy. You just have to turn the star the right way. That's the challenge. There we go. So there's one. I'm just gonna go in and get my 2nd star in place as well. Just like so. Ooh, I wiggled it. There we go. And give it a zap. Look at that. You're totally ready to go. That was easy as can be. So I encourage you to watch your machine stitch right now. I find this so mesmerizing. We are going to stitch this entire project in one fell swoop. One knot. I love it. That makes me so happy when I get to digitize like that for y'all. Okay, so let's get to stitching. Oh my gosh, y'all, was that so much fun to stitch? So I did say it was all one stitch. I did forget that it does do cut and then do knots for both of your little stars and your little doorknob. Look at that little doorknob. That's so cute. All right, so you are all done. All you need to do now, take them out of the hoop and let's give them a little trim. So I'm gonna move my hoop away. I'm gonna get my back. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? I love it. I want to take it home today and use it. So I am just moving my Steady Betty, and what I'm revealing is my Caterpillar glass. I also have a, whatchamacallit, a cutting mat that matches this, but for some reason it's walked away. So I'm just going to cut right here, right now. Well, so has my rotary cutter. Well, gosh, y'all, let's pause for a second. Okay, I'm back with my tools. See, this is my favorite little pile, and I don't know where I've gone and moved it for. That's silly of me, but I like to have it all like this. So this is my cutting mat that goes with my light pad, and it is a perfect fit for on top of my applique glass, which I just love this little system in front of me. So now I have my ruler, and what we're gonna do is cut just inside of that stitch line, and really just like the width of a blade, right? So barely any distance in. And we're just gonna cut on all 4 sides. There we go. And you can see that it's gonna line up perfectly straight, right, with your lines. So you know that your stitch line is square and that you're cutting square. And then do just right here. And like on the bottom right here, look, I didn't cut all that thread off. That's no big deal. Don't worry. It's going to get hidden in the binding. See, just wipe it away. And then we'll do this edge right here. Whoop. There we go. And now let's cut the front. I always cut the back first and the front second. I don't know why, because that's the order I stitch it. So let's remove our stabilizer. I'm using a different stabilizer than I normally use, and I don't like it, I have to say. It's not a good tearaway. Next month, you're gonna see I am gonna start recommending the same stabilizer that I normally use, and I ran out of my favorite stabilizer right now. So my friends at Sulky are sending it to me. And I love it. And so we've had so many requests to carry it that we are going to start offering it. So give us about a week to get that on the website, and then you'll be able to use the exact same stabilizer that I use. I love it. What I'm using right now is not Sulky. It's really thick. It's not easy to tear away. And y'all know normally my stabilizer is so easy to tear away. It makes me really happy. And then our last cut right here. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about this. This is just too cute. Let's take a look. Look at that. I mean, is that just not like the most fun for Halloween ever? So once you pull your stabilizer away, you'll just put them back to back. Make sure you orient your star in the right direction. And then, oh, that feels so good. And then you are ready for your binding, which again, you'll cut from that large piece in your kit. And then check out our tutorials on YouTube. Mom has the best way to do binding without any special tools required. So happy stitching. Thanks so much for being a member of the Applique Club.